All right. This is the answers for 5.2 or 5.3.1. First one, we're finding the area of a rectangle, and you actually don't have to solve the area. All you have to do is tell me, out of these missing sides, A, B, C, and D, which one or ones will help you find the area. So I should know that the area of a rectangle we've learned, or you've learned in previous years, is length times width. Okay, and one of those is obviously this 10 here. Now, I know some of you might get tricked because it looks like that picture is rotated, and it is. But I could take it and rotate it so it looks just like a normal rectangle. Now, I'm going to undo that because that's not how yours looks, but you can think of it like that. So I know I have to do 10 times something. And I have a couple of choices. I can choose A, B, C, or D. Well, I should know that D is the same as the 10. That's not going to help. A is a slant. That makes it kind of look like part of a triangle. That's not going to help either. And I should know that C and B are the same thing. So for the answer for this first one here, you can have C or B, or both. Okay, either any of those will work for that first question. Next one, 72. Okay, this is dealing with fractions again. The recipe calls for 2/3 cups of brown sugar, and you only have 3/5 of that. So again, I'm just going to write this up here to solve this. I have 3/5 of 2/3. And remember, we talked about the word of means multiplication with fractions. Okay, so now actually answering the question. Number one, represent 2/3 of a cup of brown sugar in a diagram. So I'm going to choose to do a rectangle. You could have done circles or whatever. Now I'm going to divide this up into thirds, and I'm shading in 2/3 of it. Okay. Now number two says represent 3/5. So I'm going to divide this into fifths coming across. Remember, when I show multiplying fractions, I should draw one fraction going horizontal, one going vertical, so they cross and create a grid. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm just going to put X's through it. I should have 3 shaded in. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Finally, 3 is asking you what operation. We already talked about that. And then what is the answer? All right. So remember, our answer is what's double shaded. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that are double shaded out of a total 15. And again, 3 times 2 is 6. 5 times 3 is 15. I could simplify that because I can divide top and bottom by 3 to get 2/5. That is the answer for the second one. Third one, 5-73. I'm going to go down so we can see the grid here. And right here is the key. It tells you Jill's the hollow dot, Jack is the solid dot. So as record Jack and Jill's points as coordinate grids, or coordinate pairs, ordered pairs, excuse me. So we got Jill. I'll do hers first. Okay, I'm going to do this first one right here. That is the coordinate 1, 1. Remember, the first number is always the X. The second one is always the Y. And right here, they have it labeled for you. And this one would be Y. Next point. I'm going to do this one next. The one I just circled in green. That is 2, 1. Then we go straight up from there. Next one, 2, 2. And then finally, I have 2, 3. That is Jill's. Now we'll do Jack. His first one, I'll do this one. 1, 2. Next one. 3, 1. Because remember, I have to go over 3 first, then up 1. Next one, oops, will be 3, 2 for the next one. 3, 2. And then finally, I have 4, 3 for the very last one of Jack. And finally, question 2 asks, give a corner point to make a straight line with Jill's. So it wants you to add one more point with Jill's. And remember, hers are the hollow dot that create a straight line. Well, I could add one here, or I could add one here. Doesn't matter. It's just making sure that these form a straight line. So I could say I could add a point 2, 4, 2, 5, anything on the 2, really. I could go 2, 0. I could go 2, 150. I could go 2, negative 30. Anything on the x of 2 would work. Okay. Next problem. We got just some simple multiplication and problem-solving problems. The first one, 1 cat equals 16 whiskers. And then it wants you to find out what 7 cats would equal. Well, I know that 1 times 7 is 7. This is kind of dealing with ratios. I know I have to times this by 7. 16 times 7 is 112. Number 2, 3 slugs equals 6 eyes. And I want to find out what 2 slugs equals. So before I figure out 2, I'm going to figure out what 1 slug equals. And I know if I do this, I have to divide by 3. So I'm going to do the same to this side, divide by 3, and I get 2. Remember this right here, 1 to 2 is a unit rate because we're comparing something to 1. In this case, we're comparing it to 1 slug. So 2 slugs then would obviously have to have 4 eyes. Last one, spider. And most of you probably know how many legs a spider has already, so it made this one a little bit easier probably. But 8 spiders have 64 legs, which means 1 spider has 8 legs, which then finally means 5 spiders has 40. And I got that by going 1 times 5 is 5, so I'd have to multiply the 8 by 5 also, and got 40. Last one, generic rectangles. I'm only going to do one of them since you solve them both the same exact way. I'll let you solve the first one. I'll do the second one just because it's a 3-digit by 2-digit number. Really, they're done the same exact way. So here is my beautiful rectangle. Remember, we break it up by place value. I have 400 plus 20 plus 1. And then over here, I got my 30. Draw straight across. And then plus 6. And I know I made this row a little bit too big, but that's okay. Now I start filling on the insides. I should know 3 times 4 is 12. Then I have 1, 2, 3 zeros. 12,000. 30 times 20 is 600. 30 times 1 is obviously 30. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 20 is 120. And then 6 times 400 is 2,400. Now I just have to add all these up. So I'm going to go here on the side. I got 12,000 plus 2,400. Then I got 600 and 120. I'm going to add the 30 and 60 together to make it one less number to make 36. I add all that up. I get 6, 5, 10, 11. Carry my 10. 2, 4, 5. And then a 1. Put my comment. 15,156. So use that same strategy to solve the first problem. Those are your answers for 5.3.1.